Okay, go ahead, John.
The little stainless steel screen on the taillights
Mm-hmm.
and on the cutouts, I just did because I think it looked good. And also it's on the side panels of the hood.
Is that just hardware cloth or?
It's stainless steel, what do you call it? Stainless steel cloth.
Did you make those rear bumpers
Yes, I made the rear bumpers
and the front bumper?
and the front bumper. And on the bumper, the little piece at the end, you can buy that. That's a half round jobber.
Uh-huh.
But then this long piece here and here, they have a slight curve to them. So before I cut them to length, I had the pipe in long pieces. I went out in my forest and I found a manzanita tree that had a couple of branches that were just right, and I used that to bend them just a little at a time until I could get just exactly the right curve, and then I cut them off because you can't bend a short piece of pipe. I left it long until I just cut it off. So I had to do 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces identical.
What about the front bumper?
It was exactly the same situation, and I made it out of solid steel.
So it's not tube?
No, it's not too.
Did you go out and bend it against a madrone
Yes, I
tree?
did.
A madrone tree.
Yeah. To bend it that sharp, if it's tubing, it's going to go flat on you. So I had to use a solid piece of material.
Okay.
And I remember I did have to heat it a little.
It's a beautiful job on the front.
Yeah.
Picking up nuts.
And these little turn signals. Let me go back here for just a second. Uh-oh. I think I'm going. Can you stop that for a minute?
Sure. Well,
Oh, that's the one I want there. And then I want that one, okay? So, this is the front of the frame. We call it a horn.
mm-hmm.
And I built this. They're exactly the same on both sides, of course. And then when it came time to build the bezel for the little lights,
Yeah.
I used this as a buck to bend the brass plate, that little brass material, to use it to bend that top edge and the bottom edge and make it curve and everything. I use this as the buck.
Okay.
So I just had to pound it and then I had it chromed.
So the front fender support.
Oh, that was done.
Did you build that front fender
Oh,
support?
sure. Yeah. Let's see if we can find it.
Is that out of billet or is that
It's
all?
out of billet.
So you cut that front fender support out of billet
Yes.
and polished it.
And cut it on the bandsaw, and then I made it nice and round. Let's see if I can find that here. Oh, I know. When I took all these pictures, it's before I put the fenders on the car. I
Okay.
put the fenders on the car a year after I built it.
But you hand built that support bracket for the
Yes,
front
yeah.
fender.
And the reason why I did it out of that heavy aluminum is because typically when people put a motorcycle fender on the front wheel, when you drive it, they vibrate, they shake. So I wanted to make it really, really rigid. So the only shaking that the fender does is exactly the same shaking that the tire does. In other words, when the tire moves, the fender moves.
It's
They
a s-
move like this in unison,
So it's a
rather
s-
than this. That's why it's built real heavy. But I cut it out with a bandsaw, and then I routed the edges with a 3/8 router bit to make them nice and round.
They make aluminum router bits.
Any wood bit will cut aluminum,
Okay.
as long as it's carbide.
Okay. It came out beautifully. I mean, they are reason enough to buy the car just to own that
Yeah,
bracket.
they're really unusual, and people really see that.
Yeah.
'Cause typically, it's just an ugly bar welded to the back plate of the brake backing plate.
That's the way Dave does his, isn't it?
Well, whatever.
All right.